Police say they won't back down as the body of a zama is pulled from a Stilfontein mine shaft. Draconian water restrictions kick in Gauteng, and strong winds in Cape Town chase parliamentarians from their temporary home. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
The body of an illegal miner has been retrieved from a disused mine shaft in Stilfontein in the northwest. It's understood community members in the area pulled out the body. The identity of the man is yet to be confirmed. It's the first time since the impasse between illegal miners underground and police. Despite attempts to force the zamas out of the shaft by cutting off food and water, the miners are refusing to leave. More than 1,100 miners have surfaced since the start of the month. Last week, more than 1,000 miners emerged from a mine shaft in Orkney after running out of food and water. They were immediately arrested.
Look, at this time, our intelligence is telling us more than 300 are still underground. But the figure of 4,500, we think is very far-fetched. And it's a way of these illegal miners to blackmail government, for government to start to think that the situation is so dire that we continue to send food and water so that they can operate, they can continue to operate. We are told by our intelligence that they are not willing to resurface. No one is threatened.
Many people have expressed horror at Minister Kumbutso Ntshavheni's choice of words and refusal for government to assist illegal miners trapped underground.
You want us to send help to criminals, honestly. We're not sending help to criminals. We're going to smoke them out. They will come out. We're not sending help to criminals. Criminals are not to be helped. Criminals are to be persecuted. We didn't send them there. And they didn't go down there for the good benefit or good intentions for the Republic.
The DA's Helen Ziller questioned the lack of Ubuntu for people facing a perilous, life-threatening calamity. Action SA's Funzile Ngubeni also praised the minister's view, saying this is the only language terrorists understand. Some Joburg residents have accused the city of using water throttling to cover years of water supply mismanagement. The water cuts, scheduled to start today from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. daily, for an indefinite period, are intended to reduce water usage, stabilise reservoirs and crack down on illegal connections. The Gauteng Health Department says its hospitals are ready to cope with the water throttling. Businesses and hospitals will be affected, but the Health Department says it's prepared to keep the critical facilities running.
So across our clinics, we've got water tankers, and at our hospitals, we have reservoirs in the main, which are able to give us water supply for at least anything between 24 to 48 hours.
EFF leader Julius Malema says there's no way anyone who threatens the existence of his party will continue to be regarded as a friend. Speaking on his own party's podcast ahead of the Red Berets' third National People's Assembly next month, Malema says those who keep stabbing him in the back must keep their distance. He was reflecting on former president and founder of the Umkhonto weSizwe party. The MKP has taken talent away from the EFF, with prominent leaders like Floyd Shivambu and Dali Mpofu quitting the fighters to join Zuma's new formation. Malema also shared his thoughts on suggestions from those working with Zuma that the EFF must be collapsed to join the MKP.
My encounter with Zuma is not for the first time that it is the way it is now. He's inviting me back to fight with him, and I will do it, and I will do it with ease. I'm not scared of Zuma or all of his people who are working with him.
The Border Management Authority has reiterated its call for South Africans wishing to travel to Mozambique for holiday not to do so. The authority says although its operations at the Lebombo border post have resumed, tensions remain in Mozambique. Last night there were reports of clashes between protesters and police over election results. The opposition called for more protests this week after the election authority said the Frelimo party, in power since 1975, won the October poll.
In terms of the processing of people, we just want to confirm that we are also continuing to process people, but the majority of the people we are processing are Mozambicans that are returning back to their country, as well as South Africans that are returning back to South Africa.
High winds in Cape Town city centre forced the National Assembly to abandon its makeshift marquee chamber this afternoon and to return to the precinct for a hybrid plenary session. The House has been sitting in a marquee erected on a parking lot across from Parliament since August to allow all 400 members to attend sittings. Since the January 2022 fire that razed through Parliament's National Assembly chamber, there's been no room big enough in its unaffected buildings to accommodate all MPs.
The biggest issue is the unpredictability nature of the wind and also the disruption it causes inside the marquee itself and the noise when it increases, and also the fact that you cannot guarantee that it will stay intact should the wind suddenly change.
At least 39 pupils in Guyana in the Limpopo province have been hospitalized due to suspected food poisoning. The president will be addressing the issue of food poisoning sweeping across the country this evening. And that's it from me, Jane Dutton, and the rest of the team. Don't forget to download the EWN app.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.